FX trading centres around euro dollar, dollar yen and sterling dollar if you are looking for some interesting combinations. But what about some of the important second tier pairs, those that are just off the radar for many that may be worth looking at? Alex Lydall joins us now from Foenix Partners. It's always interesting looking at some of these because there's less people taking part in it, which means potentially there is more volatility, I know. But what would you go for as a second tier pair to look at?
So a couple of quite interesting ones at the moment are the euro crosses, I think. So we're looking at things like EURAUD, Australian dollar, possibly euro yen as well. So I think we've got a EURAUD chart up there. Obviously, the strength against the dollar that we've seen recently does coincide with some of the moves that we see here. If we're looking particularly in the last couple of months, so what we'd probably call medium-term trading, EURAUD has been on quite a good upward trajectory, and with the exception of today, which potentially brings back into play some support areas that we have there around the 148 region, and then those are a little bit more cautious and looking at that 50-day moving average back towards the 147 or the high 146 area to actually get back into the trend, which has been quite an aggressive uptrend. And if that is your fundamental view as well, then the euro has traded very well both against the dollar and a few other currencies recently. And if we are to believe that this focus on the eurozone in particular struggling, having been pushed away with the German elections and everything similar coming up, then there could be some long positions there.
We've heard recently from the Aussie Central Bank leaving interest rates at 1.5%, and I know that there's a lot of chatter around the ECB now, isn't there, about potential tightening, talking about tapering at some point. Is that something that could stir more interest in the euro?
I have a distinct feeling that possibly Draghi will kick the can a little bit down the road, won't be looking to make too many decisions pre-UK election and plenty of other things going on at the moment. We might be looking at quantitative easing coming back into play and on the paper, so to speak, for Draghi, maybe in the next month or two, but possibly not right now. So that will be something to look in the medium term from a fundamental perspective for sure, yeah.
You also referred to the euro-yen pair. What's in that for interest for us?
So relatively similar, except there's been a bit more of a sideways trade, probably, or a range trade, if you like, in the last month or two, if we look at the chart there. But again, it brings potential opportunities for those following moving averages, crossovers, moving averages there. You can see the 50-day moving average almost coming into play, possibly around the 121, 122 area, where we've got those bottoms there, the support regions, if you like. And again, following that from a fundamental perspective, the euro is trading very well against most currency pairs at the moment, so it could give opportunities to get long.
So you think that the declines we've seen in the last couple of days is just an aberration, and potentially there is a long trade around about these moving averages? Is that your base case?
Could quite likely be the case, yeah, no, for sure. We do have to watch what happens with the ECB tomorrow and any risk events that might affect the UK and anything similar later in the week, but from a technical perspective there are a few ideas there. Just
one other thing to talk about the Japanese yen. It is a carry currency. It's a safe haven as well, isn't it, for many FX. Why is that? What is it about the yen that's so unusual?
Historically, the yen has been looked at as a safe haven, but I think it's probably a little less so these days. The same for the US dollar, you could argue as well. Unfortunately, we've seen a far greater occurrences of terrorist attacks and similar likes in the last few days, weeks and months. The safe haven status of some of these old traditional pairs is probably lessened a little bit, I think you could say now. People look to other asset classes, not necessarily just the safe haven currencies of the yen or the dollar.
Alex, thanks indeed for joining us. Alex Lydall there from Foenix Partners, taking a look at a couple of the pairs worth watching off the main radar.